Good.
We are live, so Captain, you
Okay.
can read the log whenever you're ready.
All right. Captain's log, stardate 48310.2. We have just entered orbit around Argen IV, as per our orders to study the development of a pre-industrial society native to this planet. They are currently in the equivalent of the Bronze Age, and interestingly enough, the last Starfleet vessel to visit this planet was the USS Hornet in 2267. Our attention is currently focused on the two main city-states of Ainur and Belos, the largest of the different civilizations of this planet, and both located around the northern hemisphere.
Interesting. What were the names of those? Sorry.
Ainur and Belos.
Interesting. Very fun.
All right, I think we will head to the bridge of the Navajo.
Nice.
Hey, I'm the captain now. Sorry.
Congratulations on your field promotion.
I'll get out of the chair.
What else? What else do we know about this this lovely colony and these big cities? Are they two separate cities? Is that the vibe we're getting?
I will
That's what
give
it-
this because you guys will. This will be in your computer database. There are multiple city-states on the planet. This is obviously in the Bronze Age, so most of your early empires usually tend to stay around one city-state and multiple villages surrounding it. Belos and Ainur are the two major ones around the northern hemisphere, like in the log. That was the primary focus of the Hornet. Typically, they're Bronze Age. They look human, but their enemy is different. Obviously, because they do come from another planet. Just biology just took a similar turn. Currently, the Navajo has entered orbit. It's around the fourth planet. It is typically it's your view screen shows and scanners will show that it's a lush, world, with a diverse ecosystem, and several structures. But these two city states are the most largest and most well developed, and they kind of in between is a larger city. Well, I want to say city, but I guess you could say city considering the size, with a large stone monument in its center.
Like in between them both, like
Yeah.
geographically?
Yes. Geographically.
Gotcha. Large city. So some sort of like religion or something. Interesting.
What's the name of the planet again?
Argen IV.
Argen IV. Thank you.
All right. So what are our specific orders? Just to observe specifically those two major city-states, or the planetary ecosystem as a whole, or
Study the society and their development.
gotcha.
So it seems like these two places are the best places to start. But
And when was the Hornet last year? Like how many?
2267.
Which is how long ago? What are we currently at?
It's a little over 100 years ago.
Copy.
And the Hornet was the name of the ship that we found crash landed on that planet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's still in canon or not.
All right. I'm assuming with with this kind of dossier that we've been given, how did the Hornets' mission go? What type of things did they note in their logs or observations that they made?
Well, because the captain's token selected. I updated the mission directives for you. So prime directive, obviously, and then update the cultural database on the Argenian culture is your mission profile, our directives for today.
Copy.
In terms of the Hornet, they essentially did a study on their cultural database, trying to observe the prime directive the best they could without any interference. They noticed that the two primary ones focus between Greek and, or has similarity between Greek and Egyptian cultures from Earth, is the kind of the brunt of it.
Which one was which, did they say?
Both apparently have very similar cultural affiliations.
Oh, gotcha. All right.
They commented that it was similar to Athens and Sparta for the differences.
Gotcha.
That was Bronze Age equivalent when the Hornet was here.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah, over 100 years ago. So I'm curious. That'll be a good point to identify how quickly they've been doing stuff.
It could still very well be within the Bronze Age.
Why don't we verify that? Can we get scanners on these city-states?
Well, Jordan was just going to suggest scanning the city states to see how far they progressed.
Give me a reason plus science, difficulty 1, assisted by the ship's sensor science.
Okay, I think I'm going to roll that flat. Sensor operations for focus?
Yes.
Nice. Pretty good.
I believe it's 2 momentum that we bank.
The ship's assisting, so
Oh, that's right. That's right. The ship has to assist.
I need one more dice for the ship because advanced sensors.
Sweet.
3 momentum gained. And I'm going to do the typey.
Cool.
Sweet rolling there, Jordan. Right out of the gate.
Thank you.
What a return to form.
That was out of character, by the way, just FYI.
My spidey senses tell me I'm about to learn some things.
Yeah.
Your Anari sense. Your antennae are up.
Twitching.
But those blinding are, all of our other senses are enhanced.
Mm-hmm. You're like Daredevil, but with antennae.
Probably not as good as beating people up with sticks either. And based on his con stat, he's probably not that good a lawyer either.
Yeah.
I love how we keep going back to that.
He would struggle at law for sure. Gotta up your ability to fly ships.
Yeah, but Jordan flying the ship would be like a flashback, little Gene Wilder, Richard Pryor movie. See no evil, hear no evil.
See no evil, hear no evil.
Yeah.
I sent you something.
Oh, wait, for my free question, can I ask about the nature of that energy source? Oh, Captain, my first pass over the planet doesn't show that much has changed since the USS Hornet's been here. Now the Bela city's a little has grown quite a bit larger and it's encompassed several visits or villages about 10 kilometers from it. Huh, what's this? Give me a second, Captain. There's a that's unusual for a Bronze Age city. Seems to be an electrical energy source emanating from a city between the two city states. It's strongest around the larger city. Around that city, expands out to cover the planet almost through its magnetic field. It's a little strange.
It's quite alarming, I'd say.
Let me see if I can narrow the sensor band to that city and see if I can figure out what's the source of the electrical energy.
That will be a momentum spend.
I will gladly spend it. One moment, Captain. I'm calibrating the sensors now. Out of character, I'm assuming the word "from" should be in that sentence somewhere.
Yeah.
Captain, the energy is emitting from a pyramid structure in the city. Still, it's a bit out of place for that era.
Are you able to determine from these sensors when that pyramid structure was constructed in relativity to the rest of the city?
That would be a momentum.
Yes, Commander. Give me a moment. I need to do some construction comparisons.
So eat one more momentum.
Okay, that's what it's for, right? It's not like we can use it to whoa. Add a character clarification. That would have been before the Hornet's last visit, right?
Yes.
Interesting.
Wait, I just want to make sure that wasn't an extra zero you threw in there.
No. The Hornet did note that there was a pyramid structure there.
But they didn't detect an energy reading from it?
They did not.
Interesting.
Captain, the pyramid's about 1,000 years older than the rest of the city. Cross-referencing with the Hornet's survey data, the pyramid was there when the Hornet came through, but it was not emitting electricity like this.
I'm gonna clarify something for you because I didn't tape it out. The electrical energy source is actually pretty faint too.
The energy is a bit faint, though. Gee, I'm going to determine if it's geothermal. They got a electric dam in there somehow, burning coal.
There is a
Stargate.
water. There is a waterway that runs around the part of the pyramid, but it is unclear on how it's emitting this energy.
I'm sorry, Captain. I can't detect. Not from this distance, Captain. I can't tell the type of electrical energy or how it's being generated, but that's definitely the source.
Very interesting, Lieutenant. Commander Solok, in your speculation, do you believe that the older Hornet could have simply missed this on their scanners? Or do you think that a Constitution class would have seen something like this?
I do not think it logical that they would miss this on a scanner. Constitution class vessels did have good scanners or excellent scanners for that time. An energy source, even a faint one such as this one, should have been detected on their sensors when they did their initial survey.
Which means that this was a more recent development that happened between their visit and ours.
I would say that that's a logical conclusion.
Well, Lieutenant Jorvin, is there any activity from the natives around this pyramid?
Let me look, Captain.
For a momentum.
All right, I got one left.
No, you would know the pyramid is viewed as a religious site. That's in the cultural database.
The pyramid's viewed as a religious site, so there's the appropriate activity around it for that.
Does the pyramid have a name in their language?
Hard to tell, Captain or Commander, without they haven't reached the era of popular media like that. Hard to get that kind of information. But something might be coming through. It's called the Temple of Lateris.
Lateris, interesting.
Alright, is this electrical signature, does it seem to be powering anything? Or is it simply there? Do you detect anything else? Anything else at all of note?
That would be a momentum spin.
I'll take it to determine what the electrical service is. What it's being used for.
Medical!
First day with the new tongue, sorry. Okay, I got another 4 weeks before the semester starts, and I gotta start talking every day.
Nice. I feel like it's prudent to just chill up here for a bit, continue kind of orbital scans, right? See what their, cultural styles are, what they do with their days, how they operate, that sort of thing.
I'm of a differing opinion, Commander. I think as long as this electrical signature isn't powering any sort of surveillance equipment, we need to risk a lower orbit, perhaps even an away team. This thing warrants as close of an investigation as we can manage.
Well, this is interesting, Captain, Commander. There's a number of obelisks around both Belos and Anar that seem to amplify the energies. They're powering lights.
Those that lights, Lieutenant?
Lights, you might say.
Yes, sirs. And since I'm out of momentum, I guess I have to roll for it. Kind of widen my sensor sweep back out. Looking at the people, are there any dramatic changes in clothing style or architectural style?
No, at least for Bellows, at least for the two. There is like some color differences between the two, but primarily they wear the same type of clothing, which are togas.
Okay.
The other city-states have developed their own culture, and they have sort of different clothing, so.
But no significant changes in the last how long? How many? Has it been
100 years
since the Hornet was here?
No, nothing significantly changed.
Interesting.
The player wouldn't know, but the character, having archaeology as one of his foci, is for that era. Is that unusual for clothing styles to not have changed over a century?
Yes and no. I mean, clothing historically goes in and out of different fashion states.
Mm-hmm.
So, but given the level of technology, it wouldn't advance a whole lot, depending on techniques.
Thank you. Well, I'm not seeing a whole lot of changes in clothing style or architecture, but that's fairly normal at this stage. As their technology level, as you know, sirs, as their technology level advances, those things change at an exponential rate, but they should still be moving along fairly slowly.
This is fascinating.
You said the
well,
obelisks. Sorry, go ahead.
They're stagnant in one aspect, and yet they've jumped all the way to electricity in another.
Maybe they found something in the pyramid that kick-started one piece of their technology arc.
That would presuppose that what they found in that pyramid was significantly more advanced than what they had been working with prior.
Well, generation of electricity is fairly advanced compared to Bronze Age technology.
The use of electricity during Bronze Ages and civilizations is very rare, and usually the result of some sort of external interference.
With the age of the pyramid, there may have been visitors to this world before this culture even emerged, and perhaps there were visitors to this world that came, built the pyramid for whatever reason, and then left. And that now these people have found a way in.
Or there has been some sort of contamination in the last 100 years that has given this culture the ability to utilize electricity, despite the fact that it is thousands of years ahead of where they should be.
That also is a possibility.
A number of very interesting questions, all raised, Lieutenant Commander. Either way, I think that we have stumbled upon something that's going to make this mission much more enlightening than what we might have originally been in store for. We're either going to find evidence of some sort of outer world interference, or we might be have a unique opportunity to study one of the most unique cultural developments in the galaxy. I want everyone ready and on their best for this. Can that be a rally action, GM?
It's usually only done in combat.
This?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not.
You said they are humanoid adjacent?
They look human.
Gotcha. So I don't think the Andorian and the Aenar are going to be popping down for a way.
Is there no way for me to generate momentum?
Not outside of combat.
That's so... Ugh. Can I spend a determination?
Wow.
There's a talent for that if you have it, but it's a little early to worry about that sort of thing.
Command characters are bards. I want to support the team. Like, I don't like playing this if I can't support the team. Like, I'm not here to, like... I want to buff you guys. That's the whole
Right.
fun. That's the whole source of the fun for me in this game.
Bardic Inspiration, Cure Wounds.
Then you should have played a paladin, sir.
One of my other characters, Kaval, you know her. She's more of a paladin. I was hoping
Oh, yeah.
Azuria would be more of the social bardic type of just charisma-based support character.
What exactly are you just wanting to generate momentum, or like because you could do roles like try to make a trait.
A trait, yeah.
And then that would actually give you It could give you momentum or reduce difficulty for things and stuff like that. Because everything revolves around traits now. So.
Well, I'll keep an eye out for another opportunity, but then Azuria will go ahead and say, why don't we go ahead and lower our orbit, see if we can glean any other more information from a closer look, and then I'm thinking ultimately we will have to investigate this personally, Commander.
Captain, you want me, as we get into a low orbit, Captain, you want me to see if I can get an architectural scan, get kind of an interior map, and see how well populated the interior is.
Mm-hmm. And any more details on those lights this thing's powering as well. Ensign Vogel, bring us down lower. Let's make another pass for Lieutenant Jordan.
Yes, Captain, right away.
Well, here's an opportunity if you want. Maybe you could roll something to create a trait that there is decent cloud cover,
Right,
so you're
yeah.
not spotted.
Ooh.
So you want to enter the atmosphere?
Not necessarily.
Upper.
The high atmosphere.
Lower orbit.
Low orbit. So
Yeah.
you're literally probably in the atmosphere, but to the point where there's no really air. But well, this is gonna be a trait, so you're gonna try to find optimal cloud cover. So give me a control plus con, assisted by the ship's engines plus con, difficulty of 2.
Just
Nice.
seeing if my new talents do anything. It doesn't look like it. Since we have no momentum, I'll give you a threat. Helm ops for focus.
Yeah. Don't forget, you also have your flight controller ability. So you actually generate like 1 bonus momentum
If I succeed.
if you succeed.
Nice. That's fun.
And then also you're untapped potentially. You'll have to roll.
Yeah, that should really be untapped potential control. I should
Nice.
donate that.
So far you have 2 bonus momentum. You gained a momentum. I just need the ship engines con.
Captain? Oh, dude.
Hmm?
Engines con on the ship.
Yes.
All right, I'll do it.
I saw someone moving it. I didn't know.
Yeah, it's the indecision decision.
Gained another momentum. So you're in lower cloud cover, so that you're successfully hidden. Do you wish to scan the perimeter?
Well, I got 2 bonus momentum here.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. What do you wish to spend the bonus momentum for?
Can I? Is the cloud cover just centralized over this one area, or how does that work? How's the cloud system working?
It would be difficult for someone to notice a bright shining object. It would, considering how high you are, it would probably extend out to the 2 city states.
Can I use the 2 bonus momentum to make a trait that I am tracking the storm system and making adjustments to the ship to keep it behind the storm system?
So you're increasing the potency of it, essentially.
Yes.
Okay. So potency 2 for this trait. So what's next for you guys?
I want to go ahead and I guess it'd be probably 2 scans. One to kind of get a count of of the people inside the pyramid, and then one to get as close as I can to get kind of an architectural outlook of inside the pyramid. Kind of get an idea of its layout.
Let's just roll this up into one. So it's reason science difficulty of 2, assisted by the ship's sensor science. Actually, no, diff 2.
All right, I will give you a momentum for a 3rd die. And since we're kind of looking at an older society, well, I got sensor operations, but I kind of want to use archaeology as a focus just because.
Sure, I'll allow it.
Whew, not a good roll. I will re-roll the 18. And then let me get my roll from the ship, and that's 2 dice from the ship, right?
Yes, 2
Should be.
dice for advanced sensors.
And I've got technical expertise, so I'm going to re-roll the 20. So that looks like 4 total.
Yeah, so 2 momentum gained.
All right, I'm back. What did I miss?
The ship crashed.
Oh,
Okay.
well, this was
Sorry.
a good run.
Yeah, GG.
5 complications couldn't be helped.
Yeah.
Jorvin is scanning the pyramid
Gotcha.
now that we are in
Low orbit.
high orbit or whatever,
Okay.
high atmosphere, low orbit.
I'll say I agree. I think if 5 dice are rolled and they're all natural 20s, the game should just end instantly. I think that's okay.
Matter and antimatter have come into
Yeah.
contact, and it's just boom, boom.
Ugh.
So what? These scans are still happening? Is that what's going on?
I sent you some stuff.
Well, Captain, there's quite a few people around and inside the pyramid. For its structure itself, I have a decent scan. There are several conductive metals running up to a gold capstone at the peak of the pyramid. Metals run all the way underground and appear to be shielded.
Can you said there were many conductive materials, right? Are you able to identify what those materials are to see if they're common in species that we know of, general build patterns?
Stand by, Commander. Mostly copper. Also detecting a slight tectonic activity centering around the pyramid. GM, do I have a clear enough scan of the structure of the pyramid to make it safe for a possible away team if the captain decides?
Sorry, what?
Do I have a good enough scan of the interior that if the captain decides to send an away team, we could safely beam inside?
There is actually some interference, so you would have to beam outside. It is a very large structure. It kind of similar size to the Great Pyramid of Giza.
We need to show caution when attempting to investigate this location. If it is a religious importance to the colonists, we need to determine how individuals gain access and make sure we are not caught with our pants down, to use a human idiom.
That makes sense, Commander. Unfortunately, there's a lot of interference. We're not going to be able to safely transport through it. We're going to have to, whoever, if you send an away team, Captain, I recommend finding a good spot to put them down, and then they're gonna have to hoof it into the pyramid.
Certainly, Lieutenant. But even without transporting within, it would still be useful to have a scan of the interior, just so that we'd be able to know our way around. Can you manage that?
With my bonus momentum, actually, my bonus momentum I can only use for obtaining information. Can the information I obtained be enough to get maybe combined with another momentum to create a trait that I have a layout of the pyramid?
No, that bonus momentum is for obtaining information only. So it would
But we still have 3 in the pool, so we can still use it to make a trade, right?
Yeah, you roll for it or spend 2 momentum.
But if the group doesn't mind, I would just spend 2 momentum to create that trade.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Go for it.
I'm trying to think of what to ask my question on. I'm coming up blank, so you guys help.
What trade are you creating, just to make sure?
No, I have our scans gave us kind of a layout of the interior of the pyramid.
Okay.
And then what were you saying before that, Jordan?
I'm kind of drawing a blank on I've got a free question, free obtain information. I'm drawing a blank on what to ask.
It could be something towards you got tectonic readings, like slight earthquakes. Like maybe you can try to narrow down exactly where, right? Like if there's a superstructure underneath the pyramid, if it was located further down there, if it was originated from somewhere else.
Oh, that's a good idea. For my obtained information, GM, is the tectonic activity being caused by, is it originating from beneath the pyramid, or is the pyramid sitting on a fault line?
Right, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, Captain, that tectonic information seems to be centered on the pyramid, which is sitting on a fault line.
Okay, interesting. Okay. Fascinating.
Anything else you guys wish to do, or?
Just writing notes. I mean, I think we've gathered about as much information from the scanning currently as we probably can get, right? I think that if you wish to send an away team, it would be prudent to have a small team attempt to blend in with the local culture to learn more of the pyramid, its origins, how this culture operates. Quietly, of course. Check-ins to the ship once every 8 hours. But we need to be careful. We don't want to cause any sort of suspicion.
Indeed, we might need medical to conduct surgery or prosthetics so that we look like the inhabitants if we are to beam down to the planet.
I think, agreed. I think myself and Lieutenant Jordan are a bit too difficult to do that, but I believe the three of you are Ensign Vogel, Captain, Commander Solak. I think that medical should be able to prep you well enough.
Don't underestimate our doctor, Commander.
The antennae are rather crucial to us operating well. And I've never been a big fan of hats.
Are you passing up the opportunity to explore this society, Commander? I mean, I would understand, of course, but come up every day.
Just the pragmatism. I think a smaller team fares better to look and blend in without causing alarm. I think any sort of you all are rather easier surgical alterations. Wouldn't want anything to go wrong that would give myself or Lieutenant Jordan away.
Yeah, do we know what they look like?
Human?
So humanoid,
Yeah,
or human just in general?
humans in general. They have no markings of any kind. Their internal anatomy is just different from regular humans.
I will likely need to wear a hat myself if I am to go down there and blend in.
Is everyone really scared of a little laser scalpel? Come on, it's just a pinch, and we can look like an entirely new species. Where's your sense of adventure, people?
It's not the lack of adventure, but we could bring down supporting characters.
Yeah, as for Captain, I have to agree with the Commander. It's for most of you, that's minor nit tug. For the Commander and I, it's
Skin
a
color.
relatively large change.
Right.
Andorians
wanna
and their
overcomplicate
antennas. Yes, I know you're sensitive about that. Very well. Commander, who would be your best recommendation to lead an OE team of this nature? I know we have some promising people on board.
I think going to take Lieutenant Hale, or not, Vigo, right, the Betazoid. It's a simple, he's good at medical, he can make sure that things are all right on the surface, keep an eye on you all health-wise, but is also trained in security, at least somewhat. I think humanoid species require less surgery are the safest bet for this sort of thing, or that are easier to blend in.
We do have a xenobiologist named Maxine Sanders who also has a focus in anthropology. And she is human.
Oh, yeah, that's a great one. Yeah, good idea. Good idea.
Ensign Vogel, why don't you maintain this orbit? Commander, go ahead and put the team together, and let's be ready to dispatch them within the hour.
Understood, Captain. So who's going and who's taking a supporting character, I guess? Yeah, I think Andorian and Anar will continue at the Navajo.
Solak will go.
Yeah, that works.
GM, can I talk to you privately for a second?
I think he stepped away.
Hell.
Looks like Prex is back.
I'm back, but I'm also streaming, so
Can you just swap into one of the other Discord group channels?
No, it's fine. It's fine. I know it's
Yeah.
complicated to do that.
Give me a second. I have to mute audio.
If a society was run entirely by the stock market,
Right.
but
Right.
I changed it to games of chance to determine everything, like judges and
That's so fun.
appointments and stuff. It's cool.
That is
Okay.
neat.
The captain has stepped away for a bit, so
Oh, copy.
right now. So Kavar, you're currently in charge of the stuff, so
Aye. Yeah, I mean, I was assembling the away team. I think we were just discussing who was going on the away team. I know Captain, I think Solak said he was going to get the ears surgeryed.
I would prefer not to have my ears clipped in some way, but whatever needs to happen, I will do so that I can go on the away mission.
Copy. Were you going to take Ensign Vogel down, or were you going to take a supporting character as well?
I'll take Vogel because it looks like everything's taking place.
Yeah, copy. And then I think I'll take Vigo, the Bajoran combat medic guy.
Vigo the Carpathian.
yeah, like I said, so everything takes place in the planet service. So, however you guys wish to handle it with your characters.
Yeah, that's fine. I feel like getting the Andorians to look like normal humans kind of overcomplicates things, and taking the entire bridge staff for a quiet observation, don't break prime directive thing is probably not advised.
Jorvin, who are you gonna take down?
I'm kind of torqued. I think we need, I think a science officer. I also think an engineer is probably a good idea as well.
Well, the chief engineer will be going down.
Oh yeah, duh. Well, that makes it easy. I guess.
Are you saying he's not good enough for this job?
Yes.
That makes sense, yeah.
I guess I will take Lieutenant Sanders because I'm sure the Cation would not fit in well.
Right.
Beaming down.
Yeah, I think we would want to beam down somewhere obscure, like find a nice kind of isolated location, like outside of. I guess that middle like city, it does have like living locations, right? Like there are. It's not just a pyramid area, right?
Right. There's like a whole village sort of surrounding the pyramid. It's also nestled in between with mountains, so it's kind of almost in a valley. It almost blends in with the rest of the mountains in a way.
Gotcha. Okay.
Sorry, who were the other two supporting characters we're taking? Because Vogel, Solak was going down, and
I think we're gonna take Vigo, the combat medic.
Yeah, you're taking Vigo, and then Jorvin is taking Maxine Sanders.
okay.
Thought Jorvin was coming down.
Sorry.
He's anal.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I did not tell him the weather, but it is hot there, so it's almost like being in a jungle.
Gotcha.
Commander, who was in charge of the away team?
Well, the captain is going. So
Captain is not going.
right. Gotcha. She's not going at all. Oh, copy. I see what you're saying. Heard. Well, then you would have seniority, Commander Solak.
Acknowledged.
I expect check-ins once every 8 hours from any of you. It doesn't have to be verbal, just from your communicators, so that we know that you are well. We'll attempt to keep active locks on you in case anything goes awry. Obviously, Prime Directive is the most important thing.
Understood.
We will attempt to monitor your comms, and I'm sure Lieutenant Jorvin will be having his fill of happy scans to do while you're down there. Be safe, be vigilant, and good luck.
Thank you.
And then do we need to do anything for them to
Yes.
be correctly certified?
Yeah. So you'll have to spend a crew support
Mm-hmm.
for this. Whoever's doing the role. This will be difficulty 2 essentially. So
Copy.
We'll just wall this up into one roll as a sort of a trait for all.
Okay.
So whichever supporting character you're using, make sure if they've been used before, they gain their appropriate activation.
Yeah. So Vigo, this is his second activation. So he can get a thing, right? What is it? Still the same thing? Still a talent focus? Nothing's changed with that, right?
Yeah, you can get a value of focus
Yeah,
up to 6, talent up to 4, value up to 4, 1 attribute, 1 discipline.
Copy. Copy that. And then, so someone, we're gonna roll for, is this, so activating crew support? We have to roll for the surgery stuff, or is that just?
You have to roll for the surgery stuff.
Copy. So I guess that would be Dr. Amon. He has a focus in surgery, so that's, I think.
Yeah. You can roll for that one.
Copy. All right. What's the role? Control medicine. What are we doing?
Control plus medicine, difficulty 2, can be assisted by the ship's computer's medicine.
Copy that. I am activating him for the second time, so I guess I can give him cautious medicine here, right? And do it on the roll. What do we think? Do we think Dr. Amon the Saurian is more of a bold guy? How do we feel?
I don't know. Saurians, I don't know if they're necessarily bold. It's up to you.
Oh,
There can be both bold and cautious Saurians.
Right. right. Very diplomatic answer. I like that.
So he's a doctor, so it just depends upon how you feel.
You know what? Yeah. We played him. We played him a little forward, so he'll be bold. We'll give him bold medicine, and I'll give you a threat. He'll go up to 3-die control medicine worth the surgery. Focus. And then assisted by the ship.
Yeah.
If somebody else wants to roll that, please, by all means.
I'll do it. And sorry, GM, I think you said it was medicine and
Computers.
computer. Click on perform task to roll a die.
Yep, you just roll 1 dice. And a focus.
Die.
And ship always has a focus.
And ship always has a focus.
All right. No momentum gained. You gave me a threat, right?
Yeah, I did. Yes.
Yeah. All right. You have the trait. The crew are appropriately genderfied, or well, yeah, look like they're supposed to be on the planet.
Cool.
Which really isn't much work. So, yeah. So, this will be a task roll to beam down. Control plus engineering assisted by the ship's sensors engineering, difficulty of 1.
Gotcha. Somebody else want to take the transporter chief and do that one?
I'll do that. So this is Elliot Cox, and this is what is this? Is it control engineering? Sorry.
Yeah, control engineering assisted by the ship's sensors plus engineering, difficulty of 1.
Difficulty of 1. He's got a focus with transporters and replicators.
Yep.
That's yes. And can somebody else roll for the ship, please?
Yeah, I'll do the ship. It was let's see, computers.
I mean, I got it there, but just barely.
Computers engineering, right?
Yes. No, sensors engineering.
Sensors.
So 2 dice.
Gotcha. Nice. 2 dice with focus. Go.
Please note that he's been first activated.
Yeah, Elliot Cox.
And the ship, I guess, saved you guys, so gain 3 momentum.
Nice.
Just put it in this notes section. So I gained 3 momentum or 2 momentum?
3. It was a diff 1.
Thank you. Thank you.
Cool. All right.
And you're beamed down to a sort of outside a little bit of the city, in an area where you're close to the actual pyramid, and then of what appears to be a town square.
Gotcha. Okay.
But you see a beautiful white marble limestone pyramid lined with gold.
Nice. How big is it, like scale wise? Like you said, like Giza?
It's like 150 meters
Gotcha.
tall.
Nice. Are we somewhere isolated?
Yes, and upon your beaming down, you feel the ground shake.
The seismic activity that we read from the ship. What do you note here, Lieutenant Sanders? Have you ever seen a structure like this before?
Only on pictures of Earth. Well, even then, pyramids didn't look like this. Of course, they might have before wind and erosion and different things affected it. This one's in remarkably good shape.
Very well crafted and well maintained for thousands of years.
Yes, you said this was something 1,000+ years before when the Hornet was last year, yet it looks to be almost brand new, and it is conducting some sort of electrical charge there at the top of the gold spire. The source of this electricity and what it is doing is something that we need to discern. I am open to suggestions.
Well, perhaps we should.
Go ahead.
Perhaps we should observe the people going in and out first to see if there are any rituals or traits or patterns of people going in and out. Is it just come and go, or is it is there some kind of ritual involved in for entering the pyramid? Does it seem like everyone can go, or is it just select people?
Mm-hmm.
Lieutenant Vigo, you had an idea?
I was going to say something along the similar lines. Just getting a feel for the culture down here, seeing how people move, how they interact. I think some passive observation to make sure we can blend in well enough.
Mr. Vogel? Actually, he might have left for a second.
I think, yeah.
I think he left for a second. Yeah, he's on
Vogel
mute.
went mobile.
He's on mute. Very well. We'll observe the inhabitants to see if there's anything that we can glean from their behavior with the structure.
All right, so you're heading down into the city.
I think that's correct.
Yep. Just kind of actively after listening, seeing seeing how people interact, what they do, conversations, that sort of thing.
As you walk down to the city, you hear like obvious conversations as the universal transit picks up. People, buying, selling, people, holding up what appears to be paper-like, handing out flyers, stuff like that.
Can we see, like, are they flyers for like an event? Like recruiting? Are they passing them out to people? Can I take one?
Do you want to grab one of the flyers?
That's what I was asking. There's like multiple people just handing them out to people?
They appear to be exchanging currency.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. That's what I was curious about. All right. Never mind. I'm not going to go steal money.
Since this is a religious structure, are there any street preachers around?
Mm-hmm.
Several. They appear to be wearing robes are, white, dawn and like globe, and wearing appears to be tall hats.
Are they like actively preaching? Can we like sit and listen for a second?
No, they seem to be going to different locations and going inside. But you can assume that they're more of the priest type because of their endowments compared to the other individuals on the street.
Gotcha. Vigo will kind of like walk up to Solok and be like, we should try to get a discrete scan of their currency so we can have the Navajo send us down some. Seems like they use it for purchasing things.
If we can do so without drawing attention, yes, that would be logical.
Yup. Yeah, we'll have to try to do that when there's a chance later.
Oh, this is a scene change, so you go down one momentum.
I got it.
There's no role for this. They appear to be trading various different precious metals, copper, gold, and silver.
Gotcha. Okay.
I find it fascinating that the same minerals seem to be of value, no matter in many places throughout the galaxy.
Yes, many cultures seem to value shiny rocks or rocks that have the ability to conduct something, such as copper. From an anthropological standpoint, what would be the next course of action here? Would it be to ask the local inhabitants what is going on with the pyramid?
I still think we should just observe for a bit. Let's find a good place to observe the pyramid and the people entering and exiting it.
Yeah,
I will walk right here. I'm going to come right here and I'm going to observe what looks to be this gentleman right here, who seems to be in bondage or bound in some way.
Yeah, he's essentially got his. The hell, what's it called? Essentially, there's 3 holes. His neck's hanging out one of them. Both his arms. He is chained up. Um, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the stocks.
Yeah,
Yes, he's in the
stocks.
stocks.
Copy.
And there's a statue right here of
Yes.
something. Interesting. Some sort of punishment for that individual.
Are people observing him? Or they
They as
like a
people
spectacle?
walk by, they peered. Well, give me an insight, command, or security. Diff 1.
Copy. Okay. All right. Insight security. Vigo has no foci. We'll just roll it straight. Hey,
Gain a momentum. They appear to be shunning him.
gotcha. Can we try to listen in? See if we can.
I'll take that as
That'll
part of
be-
the role, and
Sure.
you hear the words similar to heretic.
Gotcha. Okay. Blasphemer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Solok walks over to this person right here, and he asks, "Excuse me, may I ask you a question?"
Not from around here.
No, we are not.
Where do you hail? Belos? No.
We are from the villages outside of one of the main city-states.
Ah. I have fresh produce.
Yes, I can see. Your produce is rather impressive. I was wanting to know about the individual there who was in chains and in the stocks. What was his crime?
Um, speaking it would be heresy.
Oh. Did he himself commit such heresy?
Yes, according to the. I have a name, and I forget the name. One sec. According to the priest of Latras, he has committed heresy.
I see. It is my first time seeing the temple of Latras. It is very impressive. The priest of Latras, are they located within the temple?
They venture out around the city, and the high priest usually resides in the temple, though. I think I saw him earlier today.
Oh, you saw him here in this general area?
Yes, the baths. They just kind of point straight down.
Straight.
Sorry, just that way.
I'll zoom out. Okay, just points that way. Thank you. The electrical charge there at the top of the pyramid is very impressive and very interesting. Is that a normal occurrence for this pyramid? Or for this temple?
Well, that's the ether of the gods.
Indeed. The ether of the gods is most impressive.
It surrounds the entire world. It gives us light.
Indeed. Thank you. I appreciate your help. Oh. I will, on our way back, after walking around for a while, if I am hungry, I will return here to procure some of your produce.
Yes, you won't find any more fresher in town, I guarantee that.
I am very sure. Thank you. I go back to our group and say, well, it seems that there is a high priest and that they are in that direction. That is the only lead that I was able to get, other than this individual here has engaged in some sort of heresy. What that heresy is, I do not know.
We may want to be careful if we are going to interact with a high priest, so that we don't inadvertently say something that is heretical.
We have established ourselves as being from a remote village outside of one of the two main city-states, so possibly our ignorance of what goes on here can be explained. Our lack of understanding of their religious culture and customs, though, is a bit of a concern.
Indeed.
They spoke of the light that covers the planet, and that the electrical source there at the top of the pyramid comes from that light, as if to suggest that the planet itself is powering this pyramid of some kind.
Interesting. So, go ahead.
I was just going to ask the GM from where we are, which way is the pyramid?
Oh, essentially, kind of that way.
And they said that the light of the pyramid, they say that it was the what? What do they call it? The ether of the god?
The ether of the gods.
Yeah. And they believe that it gives the planet light.
GM, based on... Sorry, go ahead.
Well, if I remember from Lieutenant Jorvan's report, that there are globes that are powering essentially streetlights throughout the cities. That's probably what they mean.
You are standing right next to one.
Like this one here.
This one right here. This one right here.
And
this one here.
there.
Can I observe it from an engineering standpoint to see how the light seems to be powered?
Give me insight engineering, diff 1.
Nice.
Engineering 1. I don't know. Would you take reverse engineering as a focus? He's trying to break down exactly what's powering this device, where the device comes from, how it was built.
Nice, yeah.
So the focus, insight engineering.
Gain momentum. The device is actually extremely simple. The bulb itself is, well, you don't use bulbs of this kind in the 24th century, but it is a crude light bulb consisting of 2 copper wires strung by a single copper thread, in which that copper thread generates light. The pole itself seems to be parts of it made out of conductive materials that essentially harness the ambient energy in the air.
Harnesses the energy in the air.
You can tell the light pole was made crudely. You can see the marks of blacksmithing hammers and whatnot.
Interesting.
Very fascinating. This technology is thousands of years ahead of where these people should be. This is the type of electricity that, let's say, on planet Earth, Lieutenant Sanders, would be happening somewhere in the 19th or 20th centuries. Here in the Bronze Age, they should not have such sophisticated technology. And yet, here it is, harnessing the energy directly from the air.
This is very unique. I mean, there's no way to surmise that they discovered it on their own.
It also does not look like some other civilization made this for them, based upon how this light pole is constructed. It's constructed very much consistently with how blacksmithing is at around this period of time in Bronze Age cultures. But the electrical device, the light bulb, for example, very advanced for a civilization of this kind.
Well, certainly, this one piece of industrial era technology within a Bronze Age culture is well, as your people are fond of saying, Commander, fascinating.
Fascinating is a word that I would use to describe something that is unexpected. And in this case, I believe that it's logical to use that word here in this context. This is most unexpected. What I am curious about is the individual there in the stocks. What heresy did he commit? And what does this culture conceive or view as heresy?
Good question. That's also very prudent to our mission and our security here. You mentioned that vendor spoke of a priest. I'm wondering potentially those priests that are more connected with the temple might know more about how to harness its powers.
GM, have we noticed how people greet themselves here?
Mm-hmm.
Like a particular greeting that they do, or a hand gesture that they do? Or a bow?
They do like a common greeting, similar to like a hail type deal.
Mm-hmm. Right. I look back at the group and say, unless there is something else that we wish to observe here, I believe our only lead is in the direction of the baths, which is this way, and that we are looking for a high priest of the Temple of Latris.
Nice.
Question, Commander. Are you sure we want to interact with the High Priest? Maybe we should find a way into the temple.
Well, logically, if we are wanting to get inside of the temple, a high priest would be somebody who could assist us with that. Unless you can think of another way.
Are we able to observe for a little bit to see who can enter the temple? Is it like an everyone type of situation, or is it only people that
are a little bit further away from it?
We should observe that.
As you're talking, the ground begins to shake extremely violently as all of the citizens on the street begin looking for cover and seem to be extremely afraid. But I do need to make everyone make a fitness plus con difficulty of 1.
Fitness con difficulty.
Oh, this is
to update you, Vogel. The you beam down with the away team. No transporter accident. Essentially, they found that they have light bulbs with copper wire that are crudely constructed, with and then the light bulbs are made of part of it partially with conductive material to gather the ambient energy in the air. And that there's a man in the stockades who's people say he's committed heresy and will not speak of it. That should be a quick rundown. And then there's an earthquake happening. So
difficulty 2.
Okay.
Difficulty 1.
Difficulty 1.
Yep. Fitness con.
I am on my butt.
I'll use a momentum to try on my cautious con.
Feet goes on a roll.
I'm going to spend a momentum because I'm probably going to need it for this roll.
Well, 2 was gained.
Here, hold on.
You're at 6 now.
Let me finish mine first. I got a lot going on. I'll re-roll the 17.
Okay.
Ooh, what did I do? And then that one is my untapped potential.
So you have there's a lot of float and then 1 bonus. So 3 float and a bonus momentum from Vogel currently.
All right. Can I use it to create a trait that I am helping assist everyone stay upright by kind of guiding them through how to maintain their balance?
I will allow that you helped um, Solak keep standing um, from falling over, as you help balance him so that way he succeeds.
He falls into your arms.
Kiss, 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 kiss.
Thank you, Ensign.
My pleasure, Commander.
That
She kind of whispers.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, GM.
As it sort of starts to subside, the man is sort of goes like, "I told all of you it'll get worse."
Sorry, who's saying that?
The man that's in the stockade.
Stockades.
In the stockades. Okay. Certainly a much more violent and disruptive earthquake than the original one, or the ones that we were tracking upon the ship.
Agreed. I think we need to head towards the temple and see if we can see what's required for entry.
I go back to the vendor that I was speaking to. Excuse me, sir. I'm sorry to ask you again, but are earthquakes of this nature common in this part of the city?
No, the high priest said everything will be fine, and he's trying to pick up all of like his fruits and vegetables, trying to get him back into his stand after the earthquake. And he seems very rattled.
Interesting. Based on their reaction, I don't think that this is a common occurrence, and that the inhabitants here are quite uneasy about this.
Has these earthquakes been becoming more frequent?
That I do not know.
Curious if they've been picking up in intensity recently.
Yes, but what would be causing that?
It's a good question.
If there are any other ideas, my suggestion is that we move towards the bass to potentially contact one of these priests, or potentially the high priest.
I think we could. I do share some of the concerns. We definitely need to be careful with an individual such as that. We still don't know what the protocol is for entering the temple. Who's to say that us asking about it would be counted as heretical as well? This is definitely a little dangerous if we are discovered, of course.
This statue right here, what is this a statue of?
A humanoid figure of a woman wearing some sort of godly robes.
Very interesting.
Okay. Can we go look? Is there like any engravings on the statue?
There are.
Can we take a peek at what they say?
You have to use the tricorder.
Okay. Well, I mean, we can. Is it like a whole paragraph inscription thing?
It's just one word.
Okay. So can I like can we like write it down? Do we have paper? Who has paper?
We don't have that, I don't think.
Just like a mental note, and try to convey that up to the ship when we get away from this town center.
I also sort of wave you over so that you can join the rest of us.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll just make a mental note of what it says and try to do it later because we can't.
It's a
Can't really-
name.
Right. Yeah.
It's got it. It says goddess in it.
Copy. Okay.
I have the name here. Lathrin New.
Lathrin New.
I'll type it out.
Sure.
Okay. One of the Holy 12.
Gotcha. Okay.
As he rants and calms down Vogel, he looks to you and goes, "You should leave this place while you have the chance. You're far too young and pretty to be in this unholy place."
You mentioned something about calculations.
Yes, taught mathematics, philosophy. The tremors are only getting
What calculations
worse.
are you talking about?
I calculated the tremors, the earth movement. If it continues, it will destroy this place and it will sink beneath the river, forever to be lost.
And was it for this reason that you were punished?
I was punished for multiple reasons. And if you should leave if you wish to join me. Or if you wish to join me, well, listen, and if not, well, should leave before they see you. Talking to me is a crime.
This way, Ensign. And I come over to Sanders and I say, from an anthropological standpoint, what is your assessment?
I don't have enough information to make an assessment, Commander. We need to get closer to the temple, see if we can get inside.
Do we have any idea what's causing these tremors?
Not at the present. It could be connected to the electrical devices or the use of electricity that they have here. It could be connected to the temple itself. The individual in the stockade or in the stocks there seems to suggest that it is something that can be stopped.
Or at least measured mathematically?
Yes.
Do we know where the fault lines are? Maybe it's just a natural caused earthquake.
It is possible. The Lieutenant Jordan, when he did his scans on the ship, did say that the fault line traveled through the city or underneath the city.
And underneath the temple.
Underneath the temple itself.
Now, the curiosity is: was the temple placed here due to the fault line, or did the fault line happen due to the temple?
I think Jordan was unclear about that.
One of those classic "what came first, the chicken or the egg" type conundrums, huh? Well, what are your orders, Commander? Do you want us to go and
I walk up to this vendor right here, and I say to him, "Excuse me, sir. May I ask you a question?"
Sure. Sell the finest fish here.
Yes, I can see that. I have not seen such fine fish in my time. The building right here behind me, is this the baths?
Of course.
This is my first time here in the city. We are from an outlining village. It is very impressive. Are those of you or those of us, are we allowed to enter the baths?
It is the public bath, though. I believe it's occupied by some of the civil servants. The guards will most likely turn you away. You'll have to
Thank
wait
you.
until they're finished.
Thank you. I go back to the group and say, well, I wave Vigo over to join us.
Yep.
Jim, can Sanders see the entrance of the temple down this street she's looking down?
It leads. You can see that it kind of leads down towards the temple or the pyramid.
Is it close enough to be able to begin looking for patterns or routines of people entering?
No, you're still pretty far off. It's roughly probably a kilometer and a half down.
Well, I see two possibilities. One, we can attempt to enter the baths here and speak to the priest and obtain more information, or we can move our way towards the temple. The third option would be to try and get additional information from any of the other vendors that we see here. I would not advise talking further to the individual who was being punished.
Those sound like reasonable choices, Commander, though might I suggest that the more we interact with the people, the more likely it is that we violate General Order Number 1.
Interaction with individuals for information does not necessarily mean we are violating the Prime Directive, so long as we are not interfering with the development of this culture. Asking questions does not hinder the development of this culture. And if we are to determine the source of the energy that we're talking about, we will have to interact with people in some way, lest we risk using our devices and that being seen by one of the individuals, which would most certainly violate General Order.
I think it's best to perhaps observe before we try to hunt down one of their high priests for questioning.
Did you see that? Very interesting. That woman there, she seemed to approach the gentleman in the stocks and refer to him as father.
I'm assuming that would be a thing that is very frowned upon.
Come with me.
Oh, all right.
And I say to her, excuse me.
Look, he needs water. He's been here for days. He will die.
You are aware it is a crime to interact with him, are you not?
He's my father. They're not with the priest. Please, just...
If you come here and talk with us for a moment, we might be able to help.
She seems very skittish, but she slowly approaches.
My apologies. We are not from this particular city. We are from an outlining village. We saw that your father here was being punished, and we asked around, and they told us that it was a crime to interact with him. He said that he was a teacher of mathematics.
Yes, mathematics, alchemy, uh, and other sorts of uh, sciences.
Do you know why he was punished in this way?
He spoke out um, against the religion.
Why would he do that? Was there for a particular reason or a particular grievance that he was wanting to address?
He has this wild fascination that there's um, the gods. They left behind a crystal, and he says the crystal must be destroyed if we are to live. That this whole area will sink beneath the river.
These earthquakes that have been occurring, are they a regular occurrence and have they been growing in intensity?
Yes, for the past a few moon cycles.
Just making a note, sorry.
She said the crystal is where? Is it in the temple, I'm assuming?
This crystal that you mentioned, is it within the temple?
It's merely part of scripture. They say it's a gift from the gods that and is protected by the priest.
Gotcha. Okay.
Though some say the quakes are a signal for war between Belos and Anor. Like I said, yeah, not that.
Who
And
is your
then
father?
Talos, was a teacher, philosopher. Great. He's a great man.
And you are his daughter. What is your name?
I am Alethea.
Are you a teacher as well?
No, but I do practice with herbs and medicine.
Indeed. I am Solak.
Uh, Interesting name. From where do you hail?
We are outside of the cities, in one of the smaller villages. This is our first time here.
You've come quite a distance.
Indeed, we have. The city is very impressive. The temple is magnificent. Everything that we have heard about it, it is very much that and more.
Strange. I only thought the two worshipped the the Holy 12.
Sorry, could you repeat that? The what worship the Holy 12?
She's referring to the two city states that worship the
The
Holy
two
12.
cities. The two city states. The influence of the two city states goes beyond just what the city states inhabitants. I want to let anybody else ask your questions. I don't want to hog all the time here.
You got it. You got it. You're cooking. You're cooking.
Did your father keep any records of his research?
The priests they took it.
Could he have hidden any of it from sight?
It would be at our villa in the mountains. Well, potentially, I'm sure, since we hail from Belos, I'm sure it'll be taken from us soon.
Are visitors permitted inside the temple?
In the main um, altar room, yes, for worship and burial.
Gotcha.
Are people allowed to speak with the high priest?
You will have to go through the I have a name. Isadora, uh, the temple maiden.
What is the role of this temple maiden?
She's the one that um, essentially organizes events and preaching as well as teaching younglings and helps with ceremonies of bondage.
And where is this Isadora?
She would be at the temple.
At the temple itself. Is there no hope for your father here? Is there a justice system that would allow him to exonerate himself?
He would have to renounce everything he said and lose his status as a teacher, but he's too proud.
He refuses to do this.
Yes.
Are there others like him who share his views?
If there is none to would dare to speak out about it.
I'm just now seeing Vogel's like that's a clue thing.
To the mountains.
So either to the mountains, or we go to the temple to find this Isidore individual. I mean, out of character, what we're looking to do here, right, is to get into the temple and find out more when we get inside the temple. That's what we're trying to do here, right?
Yeah, probably. I was just curious, like maybe this guy's research has something going on with it.
Yeah, that's
And
the
if we
other
could
thing.
if we could find his original notes, that might give us some clues about what's going on.
That's a good point. We have to be careful about that, though, because he's essentially branded a heretic, and we don't want to necessarily be considered heretics ourselves. Any other ideas?
I mean, it really depends how involved you want to get. I mean, prime directive concerns and all that jazz.
Yeah. Well, I think it makes sense for us to go and find this temple maiden, Isidore, so that we can get access to the high priest. Because if anybody knows what's potentially going on here, it would be the high priest. But we'd have to be careful. Because as we can see here, if you engage in anything that is counter to what they believe in, they punish you in some way. I take it she's gone back to her father. Is that what she's done?
She assumed that you were done speaking with her, but if you
Okay.
wish to,
No, that's fine.
you guys can give me an insight security if you want.
Inside security. What difficulty?
Be opposed, so I'm gonna roll it here in a sec.
Rolling 2 die, right? So 160.
She is attempting to sort of pick the lock, and he's trying to shoo her away. Yeah. So, Sanders notices it. Yeah, gain a momentum.
So we've got a bonus momentum now.
Yeah, there's no need to keep rolling on it. So, one of you sees.
Oh,
it.
I didn't know if
Yeah.
everybody did. Okay,
Yeah.
Great roll, though.
I know, right? Wasting it.
Yeah, you all notice it, like that she's trying to, pick the lock and free her father.
Have others around? Have any of the locals noticed her jailbreak attempt?
Not yet. No one seems to be reacting on it.
Question is, do any of you want to stop her? Or help her?
Stop, no. Helps iffy, probably not.
If we're not going to assist, then we should probably clear the area, as I'm sure we have been observed talking to him. People might suspect that we were involved.
Indeed. Let's go to the temple to find this Isadora Temple Maiden.
All right.
By the way, I play another Star Trek game and play a completely different character who would have absolutely helped her try and break that guy out. So I'm trying to think of how Solak would react to this.
Follow the prime directive.
Yeah.
All right. You head down. You approach an area where you see several stone statues, and the temple or the large pyramid lies before you.
Is there anything that we can observe about these statues? What they look like and represent?
They're literally sphinxes with wings,
Interesting.
made out of metal.
Guess we walk up to. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to ask, are there more people around than just the tokens? Is this a fairly crowded area?
No, it's not really crowded. Though you do hear some noises coming from the inside.
I take it based upon me mousing over the token, but maybe also just like her headdress and the way people like that this is Isadora.
You see three women standing next to her. One seems to be engaged in conversation with her. You assume she is someone of some importance.
I look at Sanders and I say, logically, it would suggest that I would approach them and ask to speak with Isadora. Do you think, from an anthropological standpoint, that there would be any sort of gesture or action that I should take?
Sanders wants to take a few moments to just observe how these people interact with each other to pick up if there are any pick up social cues. See if we can figure out proper terms of address. How deferential people are to each other, that sort of thing.
All four of them are fairly well dressed, adorned in jewelry and other garnishments.
I mean, is there anything noteworthy about how the four interact with one another? That might
give me insight plus science, difficulty 1.
Anthropology is the focus.
Yeah.
And I'll give you a momentum just for cautious.
Oh,
okay, we got some questions to ask.
So 4 momentum, so you have 3 float. It is clear that 2 of the women appear to be some sort of subservient to the one that's more well dressed with the headpiece. The other seems to be, I wouldn't say casually, but more along the lines of talking to her as almost if she's some sort of peer. At least from what you hear from conversation, the woman is talking about essentially wedding arrangements.
Okay, are there, for the ones that appear to be important, are there particular terms of address that are used with them? I'd hate for the commander to walk up to the high buckety buck and say, "Hey, you."
You can surmise that 3 of them work or either are part of the temple in some sort of fashion, and the one may have some other higher standing, but isn't adorned as much in religious garment as the other 3.
Okay, but like terms of address, is she called priestess or your holiness
Priest.
or your worshipfulness or
priestess. And that would be the one in the middle.
any other questions? Did I ask?
plenty of float? But yeah, feel free to help me out with those floats that I generated.
I'm trying to think. And you're just observing this group right here. They're talking about a wedding. Did we happen to catch the names of the people who are getting married?
No, but you do hear the one that they refer to as Isadora, in the center, and Delmaya is the other woman.
Her right there. Danae.
I don't know much more than that, Commander.
So I look at the group and I say, if we are wanting to get access to this high priest, we're going to have to give them some sort of story about us and why we would want to speak with him. I am open to suggestions. The reason to speak with him is to find out more information about this crystal that they speak of and of the earthquakes that have been happening here. It's possible that Isadora might know this information too. But I think a consistent narrative about who we are and where we come from is warranted here.
We could say that we are simple farmers and that we have come to the temple in search of blessings for our village.
Listen. Would that be consistent anthropologically for this period of time?
Sure.
Are we dressed as farmers?
The player has no idea.
Well, you're just wearing white togas, so
Okay, so sure. So our story is that we are farmers from an outlying village and that we are seeking a blessing from one of the Holy 12 for our village. Is that correct?
I have a feeling that I don't know.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
There may be a specific one of the 12 that is their god of agriculture.
That's a good point. Perhaps we should keep it general that we are looking for a blessing for our village.
Probably the safe side, or a blessing from the 12.
Blessing from the 12. Any other suggestions or ideas?
Well, not unless you and Vogel want to get married.
I don't think that it would be logical for us to engage in such an activity here at this time. Oh, was that a joke that you just told?
Sort of.
It better be.
I mean, they are talking about a wedding, and didn't you say one of the vendors outside said that that was one of the reasons people talked to Isadora?
Interesting. You are suggesting a ruse that we present ourselves as wanting to be married and that Isidore should bless the union.
Or that we wish to do that and perhaps have the wedding in the temple? Isn't that one of the reasons people are allowed access to it?
A very interesting idea. I turn to Vogel and I say, what do you think of that idea, Ensign?
I think we have two volunteers right there. And she points to Vigo and Sanders.
Are you both up for such a challenge? To present yourselves as a potential couple for marriage?
I suppose. Though I suspect I'll learn to keep my mouth shut in the future.
I did not mean to insinuate that your joke was not funny. It's just the humor of it is foreign to me.
It was a suggestion. Like I said, that was one of the reasons they said we could get access to the temple.
And I think a very good suggestion. Ensign Vogel, we can present ourselves as family members who are in agreement with this union. That is how we can present the situation. An excellent suggestion, Lieutenant Sanders. Thank you.
Thank you, Father.
I raise an eyebrow. Fascinating.
Do you
And I
not have
walk.
kids, Solak?
What's that?
Do you not have kids, Commander?
No, I do not. And I had not considered that I would ever have human children. But it is an interesting concept.
Just call it practice.
I walk up and I... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
as you walk up, because your conversation took a while, Isadora kind of, leans her forward and bows and gives a small blessing, and She nods and kind of, excuse me, have a blessed day. Proceeds.
An interesting exchange. Priestess Isadora, may I speak with you, please?
Uh, of course, I have not. You are not from around here.
I am not. We thank you for your time and for your attention. We are from an outlying village outside of one of the two city-states. This is our first time here in your city. It is very impressive. We came here so that two members of our family could be married.
I see. Well, for someone of your standing, I would expect no less you make the journey. To which family do you hail from?
We hail from a family that you probably have not heard of. Our family is called Navajo.
I am not familiar with that family. I did not know one such of your family existed in Belos.
We are from an outlying village, very isolated. It is our first attempt to here. So it is quite honestly rather overwhelming to see all of this and to be in your presence.
I see. How may I help you?
Well, we seek to have entrance into the. Sorry, I'm just going to look it up right here. It's the Temple of Latris, I believe that's called. The Temple of Latris, so that way our family members can be married. We were told that you are the individual that could help facilitate this.
She looks at you very complex and. I'm sorry, my child, but you are standing in the temple.
Yes. So to be married in this temple, we had to speak with you to make that arrangement. Were we in error in that assumption?
Yes, and in matters of performing ceremonies, though this place is for the dead, we usually hold them someplace more comforting for the two for their bondage ceremony.
We would be most interested in that location for the ceremony.
If you like, I could take you there myself.
That would be very kind of you. Thank you. We are most honored.
It is down this way, and she points away from the temple.
Before we go, may we ask some questions since this is our first time here in the temple and in the city?
Of course.
The earthquakes that have been happening, it seems that these are very unsettling for everyone here. Do you know what the cause of them are?
It's merely nothing. The gods really have tremors every now and then. It's quite all right.
I see.
Give me insight. Command. Opposed.
You want me to roll first?
She's rolling first because she's in the difficulty.
Got it.
Your difficulty is 1, apparently.
Insight command. I don't think I've got any focus for this. So I'm just going to roll it.
You succeed. She is definitely hiding something.
Mm-hmm.
But the gods the 12 will be at peace soon. Yes, priestess?
Yes. You have no fear, my child. Are you the one being bonded?
Yes, this is my My intended here, she points to Vigo, and his sister.
Ah, you two have no fear. This matter will be over soon. I'm sure of it.
I'm much relieved to hear that.
And she lets out a smile. Come, I will show you to the place where we hold the ceremonies at.
We will follow you.
She leads you out of the temple and down over towards a garden area.
Okay.
Filled with flowers, trees. It's quite, beautiful. And then the river kind of flows nearby.
So we're all there standing with her?
Yeah, you're not in this location anymore. Just FYI. And
Mhm.
I don't have a map for that.
We'll use our imagination.
I will move you to the Theater of the Mind for that.
This is beautiful, Father. We must do the bonding here.
If you say so. I ask Isadora, I say, Priestess, because of where we are from, we have never seen these before, but the lights that you have in the city on the light poles, they are fascinating. What is the source of the energy? The light of the gods? The ether of the gods?
This is going to be a post task.
Sure.
Give me presence command.
There you go. Easy roll. Yay!
She looks at you. Belos has several of these. You don't seem to hail from that region. Even the outlying villages have these.
Our villages have seen them, but they are not as numerous as that we see them here.
Well, our blacksmiths take care in producing what is needed.
Indeed, their craftsmanship is very impressive.
Excuse me, Priestess. While my father makes arrangements, is there a quiet, perhaps a private place here where I might commune with the 12 over my upcoming marriage?
Ah, yes. Sister Nami will take you. And she looks at you like, if you please follow me. She takes you to an area where there are 12 statues of different humanoid individuals. One is, 3 female looking ones, and the rest are male looking.
Say thank you. And this is a lovely place to for my prayers.
Of course. I will remain by. Please, take as long as you need.
Does she go far enough away where Maxine could get her tricorder out?
You'll have to. It'll be an increased difficulty to do it stealthily.
Okay, I will try to get a scan of the immediate area, see if we can pin down the source of the energy or the tremors.
This will be reason plus 9's difficulty of 3.
Oh boy.
I
Okay.
think you should use some momentum.
I'm gonna spend 3 unless there is objection or not.
No, no objection.
And unfortunately, I don't think any of our foci really apply here. So here we go.
Oh man.
Well, fortunately, she has cautious science, so I can at least re-roll the complication.
It was close.
Do you wish to succeed at cost?
Should I know what the cost is before I answer that?
No.
Yeah, then I'm gonna have to pass on that for the consequence there could be having my tricorder discovered. Poor Sanders to, even though she's a supporting character, I wouldn't want to see poor Sanders spend the next 6 months in the brig for violating the prime directive.
Well, it is a failure. You're unable to get any readings as you're scanning. She approaches behind you. Tetra's like, "Is everything all right?"
Oh,
What are you
yes.
holding?
Now, see, that's why I avoided the complication, dang it. Just a keepsake from home. Should put it away. Use it to focus my meditation on the God's will.
I've never. We should be getting back soon. Please, this way.
Yes, thank you.
And she guides you back. But while that's happening, is there anything else you're talking to Isadora about?
I've been trying to think about that the whole time. Bogle, is there anything you can think of to ask her about?
Nope.
Surveys, city states. High Priestess, I could not help but notice when I first approached you that there was a woman you were speaking with, and when you finished speaking with her, she left rather abruptly. I hope everything is all right.
Oh, you have nothing to worry. She is fine. She merely wanted solace in her marriage, as most young women do.
She is currently married, or there is a ceremony to marry her?
The ceremony, the man she is about to marry.
Who is she about to marry?
A prominent Belosian.
Ah. So I'm just making some notes. High Priestess, we also noticed when we were entering into the village, there was an individual who was in stocks for committing heresy. Is this something that happens often in the city now? If so, this
No,
is quite alarming.
you have nothing to worry. It's merely a man who lost his way. Goddess Nu will bestow her judgment on him.
Is there no hope for this individual?
There is always hope, my child.
And would this hope be that he repent what he has said and state that he did not believe what he said?
If the Goddess Nu demands of it, the Goddess Nu will strike severe punishment upon him.
Thank you. Please forgive my curiosity. This is my first time being in the city of this kind. It's a new experience for me, quite overwhelming in many ways.
Is there anything else I could help you with?
No, thank you, Priestess. You've been very helpful.
Sanders and the other temple maiden return. Ah, my child, welcome back. And Jessica mentions, blessed upon you on your holy day, and I look forward to the ceremony when your father is ready for the appropriate arrangements.
When would the ceremony need to take place? Within your schedule.
This ceremony can be commenced in 6 days.
6 days. Thank you. Is there a way to expedite the process? We wish to get back to our village.
Unfortunately, not.
We understand. In the meantime, are we allowed to stay here in the temple to observe it and pray?
I'm sorry. No. I am sure there are other fine establishments in the city that you'll be able to find.
Understood. Thank you, Priestess.
She nods and may the gods be with you.
And with you as well.
And they walk out, heading back towards the temple.
Are we alone?
Yes.
I look back over at the group and I say, tricorder.
I can try again. I tried to scan when I was praying, but the other attendant almost caught me.
Were you discovered? Was your tricorder discovered?
I made a what I think was a convincing lie about what it was.
Well done, Lieutenant. Let's attempt another scan. What we need to isolate where this crystal is and determine if it is within this temple.
Can vaccine try again?
Reason plus science difficulty 2, since you're no longer hiding the tricorder.
You still got momentum.
Still, must spend one of them. No.
Oof.
And I'll re-roll one of them. I'll re-roll the 17.
Yay!
Your tricorder detects a large lava cavern underneath the temple. And high amounts of electrical energy emitting from in that cavern.
There's a cabin under the temple. Did I hear you say, like, river of magma?
Yes.
There appears to be a river of magma underneath the temple.
Flowing magma underneath the temple? Very interesting.
Could be. that could be causing pressure on the tectonic plates.
That would be logical. Is it the source of the energy that we're detecting here as well?
Momentum for obtained information?
I did say there was a large amount of electric energy in the cavern.
At least the same general area, Commander.
So is it possible that this magma river is the one that is generating the electricity that they are utilizing? I'm asking this question basically from the science officer. Is it possible?
The science officer is thinking. The player doesn't know.
While you're thinking about that, I need everyone to make a fitness plus con roll difficulty 2 as the ground shakes even more violently. As you see the birds move away quickly and the water on the river almost seems to flow backwards.
Wow.
Use the momentum.
That gives us one back.
Oh, and I think you get a threat.
Yep.
I'll roll Vigo here.
Okay. What should the both spur carriers do not? They both failed.
I failed. Sanders failed, and Vigo failed.
Okay. For those that failed, you can attempt to avoid the injury. It's only 2 stress if you avoid it. Otherwise, you'll take an injury. Since Vigo and Sanders do not have a value, they're knocked out as they fall
Dang.
and hit their heads from the violent quake.
Wow.
Then my next action is to drool on the floor.
Yes, but you are unconscious. It's a non-lethal injury, but yeah, essentially, yeah.
So I'll take the stress.
Okay.
I believe my stress is based off my control rather than my fitness. So does that mean I have a stress track of 12 as opposed to a stress track of 8?
Yes. So I need to.
Yeah. So it's fine. I'll just take the 2 stress because it's a big deal.
So you have 10 left.
10. Yeah. I actually need to jump off right now because the dinner bell just got rang by my spouse.
I guess this is a good place to stop.
Yeah.
We'll pick it up, I guess, next week.
It's great, Prax. Thank you.